This is DD India. You're watching Express News, a program where we bring you top 100 news of the day from India and the world in under 30 minutes. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let's get started. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the Gyan Bharatam portal in the national capital on Friday. Prime Minister Modi also participated in the international conference on Gyan Bharatam. On the second day of the Gyan Bharatam International Conference 2025, Prime Minister Modi went around the exhibits displayed and had a first-hand experience of the rich manuscript history on display as part of this international conference. Prime Minister Modi also addressed the international conference on Gyan Bharatam. He emphasized that India's cultural identity transcends modern concepts of nations. CP Radhakrishnan took oath as the 15th Vice President of India at Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi on Friday. President Draupadi Murmu administered the oath of office to Radhakrishnan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended the oath-taking ceremony of CP Radhakrishnan. PM Modi wished him a successful vice presidential tenure dedicated to the service of people. After the ceremony, the new Vice President Radhakrishnan paid a floral tribute to Father of the Nation Mahatma Gandhi at his memorial in Rajghat, New Delhi. Vice President CP Radhakrishnan visited the Prerna Sthal in the Parliament House complex, where he laid a wreath at the Gandhi statue and planted a Rudraksh sapling at the site. CP Radhakrishnan took charge as the 15th Vice President of India and also met Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman, Minority Affairs Minister, among others. Mauritius Prime Minister Dr. Naveen Chandra Ramagulam, on his visit to Varanasi, offered prayers at the sacred Kashi Vishwanath Dham temple, one of Hinduism's holiest sites. Prime Minister Ram Ghulam made a payment using India's RuPay card at the temple. This move promotes digital financial ties between the two countries, showcasing how everyday diplomacy strengthens Indo-Mauritian ties. Mauritian Prime Minister also offered his prayers at the Ram Temple in Ayodhya of the northern Indian state of Uttar Pradesh on Friday. The visiting Prime Minister was also given a tour of the Ram Temple complex. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday shared an article explaining the Great Nicobar Island project, which is of strategic, defence and national importance. It transforms the region into a major hub of maritime and air connectivity in the Indian Ocean region. India's Minister of Railways, Ashwini Vaishnav, underscored Mizoram's development journey. He penned an article titled Mizoram Train underscores Frontier to Front Runner Vision, which was published by an Indian daily. On Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurating the Bairabi-Sairong new rail line in Mizoram, Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said that with this rail line, Mizoram will be connected to the National Railway Network, a long-awaited dream of the people that is set to become reality. India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal on Friday held a meeting with EU Commissioner for Trade and Economic Security Maros Sefcovic and Christopher Hansen, Commissioner of Agriculture and Food, along with the EU delegation in New Delhi. Piyush Goyal said that both leaders are almost nearing the deadline for the FTA and expressed hope to see an announcement on the deal coming before the deadline is over. Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari, while speaking at the 65th annual session of the Automobile Component Manufacturing Association in New Delhi, said that the blending of fuel in India was carried out after extensive consultations with experts and industry. India's Minister of Foods Processing Industries Chirag Paswan engaged with the European Commission delegation led by Commissioner Christopher Hansen in New Delhi. INS Aravali, Indian Navy's latest naval base, was commissioned at Gurugram in the presence of Chief of the Naval Staff Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi on Friday. The Commander BSO-1 of the Myanmar Army, Lieutenant General Ko O, and 4 delegation members visited the headquarters Eastern Command at Vijaydhur, Kolkata on Friday. The visit was part of the overall 7th Army to Army staff level talks between the two countries. On to business news now. Indian equity indices ended on a positive note with Nifty closing above 25,100 level on Friday. At close, the Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange advanced 350 points to settle at 81,905. Indian rupee at the forex market ended 17 paise higher at 88 rupees 27 paise against the US dollar on Friday. Gold futures maturing on October 3rd were priced at 1,09,252 rupees per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for December 5th maturity stood at 1,28,991 rupees per kilo on the MCX. The recent GST rationalization by the Indian government reflects the vision by promoting a health-positive tax regime. Healthcare services by doctors, hospitals and diagnostic centres remain exempt from the GST. Onto the global energy market, Brent crude oil climbed 0.7% to $66.80 per barrel on Friday. President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, welcomed leaders of the European car manufacturers in Brussels on Friday to talk about the future of the industry in Europe. The European Union on Friday said that it had accepted commitments from Microsoft to more clearly separate its Teams communications app from its Office products in order to avoid a hefty antitrust fine. Britain's economy stagnated in July, official data showed on Friday, dealing another blow to the Labour government after a turbulent week for Prime Minister Keir Starmer. US President Donald Trump on Friday announced that the suspect had been taken into custody of the killing of right-wing activist Charlie Kirk after a massive manhunt. The suspect has been identified as Tyler Robinson. Poland's foreign minister arrived in Ukraine's Kiev on Friday for talks on security, days after a drone incursion into Poland escalated concerns over the spillover of Russia's invasion. Ukraine's foreign minister said that Ukraine and Poland stand firmly together. Speaking to media after a National Security Council meeting, Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk urged NATO allies not to pretend that nothing happened. He added that Poland was certain Russia was behind the attack. Several NATO members are sending troops, artillery and air defense systems to secure its eastern flank after Russian drone incursion into Poland airspace. President Macron said France will deploy 3 Rafale fighter jets. Germany too said it would extend and expand its participation in NATO's air policing program to provide more cover to Polish airspace. On Poland's request, a UN Security Council meeting will take place on Friday on the matter at 1900 hours GMT. US President Donald Trump, however, said that Russia's drone incursion into Poland could have been a mistake. A Polish official reacted, saying that there can be no mistake with such a large-scale attack on Poland. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar spoke to Deputy Prime Minister and his counterpart of Poland, Radoslaw Sikorski, on Thursday. He shared his concerns about recent developments pertaining to security. The European Union's member states agreed on Friday to extend sanctions on individuals related to the Russian conflict in Ukraine for another 6 months. Russia and Belarus began their joint military drills exercise ZIPAD 2025 from Friday. The drills will be held near Borisov, a town east of the capital Minsk. NATO's eastern flank members that border Russia and Belarus are on high alert over the drills that kicked off on the alliance's eastern border. Kremlin spokesperson said that these are planned exercises and they are not aimed against anyone. The Kremlin said on Friday that peace talks between Russia and Ukraine were on pause as US President Donald Trump's efforts to end the 3.5-year conflict falter. Issuing a joint press release, Nepal's Speaker of the House of Representatives, Devraj Ghimere, and National Assembly Chairperson Narayan Prasad Dahel have said the rule of law and constitutionalism should not be bypassed while forming the government. According to Nepal's Ministry of Health and Population, at least 36 people lost their lives in different incidents that occurred in the course of the Gen Z protest movement. A chartered plane carrying some 300 South Koreans who were detained in a large-scale US immigration raid at a battery project site in Georgia landed at Incheon Airport on Friday. South Korean Foreign Minister Cho Hyun said that US President Donald Trump had called the detention wrong and ordered officials to review all options, adding that the two countries plan to establish a working group to consider a new type of visa for Koreans. Former Brazil President Jair Bolsonaro has been sentenced to 27 years and 3 months in prison after being found guilty of plotting a military coup to remain in power. Qatari Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani accused Israel of trying to derail efforts to end the conflict in Gaza by attacking Hamas leaders in Doha, but pledged to continue its mediation efforts. The UAE on Friday summoned Israeli ambassador over Israel's attack on Hamas leaders in Doha on Tuesday. We are heading for a short breather here on Express News. We'll be back in just a bit. Stay tuned to DD India.
We lock our doors, put up fences, all to protect our house. But what about the home that we all share? Today's episode is to remind us that preservation extends beyond humans.
We tell our buyers that the coffee they're buying or they're consuming is contributing or is preserving the habitat for these many species of birds and animals.
We are promoting ecotourism only. We call volunteers to work on the field so that they can learn from the village.
GDSI is a ranking system created by an association to make its location sustainable in terms of tourism and event management.
We use the feces as manure for our crops. That's how integrated farming becomes very profitable.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. I'm Tanvita Nija. Let's resume. A landslide hit West Sikkim at Thursday night, killing at least 4 people. 3 people are still missing. Authorities built a temporary log bridge in Sikkim over a flooded river to rescue survivors. Rescue teams carried out operations in Sikkim, pulling survivors from the debris after heavy rains triggered the disaster. The India Meteorological Department issued heavy rainfall and strong wind alerts for for several northern and northeastern states, including Bihar, West Bengal and Assam. The IMD also issued a yellow alert for 23 districts across Maharashtra, warning of heavy to very heavy rainfall over the next 24 hours. Meanwhile, Mumbai and suburban areas are likely to experience generally cloudy weather with light rain. South Indian states of Odisha, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh are expected to receive very heavy rainfall from 12th to 14th of September. Thunderstorms accompanied by lightning and strong winds are likely to hit Tamil Nadu. Authorities have advised residents to avoid unnecessary travel and take appropriate safety precautions. The death toll from flash floods in Bali has risen to 16, with 2 people still missing in Denpasar. Torrential rains earlier this week triggered flooding and landslides across 6 regions. Dog shelter of a Bali resident named Kardik Etta Treswati was left reeling after heavy floods in the region. Bali is home to over 500,000 stray dogs, according to an NGO that provides neutering services in Bali. At least 9 people died when a rescue boat capsized during flood relief efforts in Pakistan on Friday. The incident took place in a village near the historic city of Multan. Tunisia is hosting the second Big Tech Africa Summit from September 9th to 11th with over 30 countries and 200 startups participating, offering chances for local entrepreneurs to grow. Families gathered at One World Trade Center in the USA to mark the 24th anniversary of September 11 attacks in which nearly 3,000 people lost their lives. Second edition of the Ocean Race Europe is in its final stage, with the fleet cruising through the fifth and final leg towards Boka Bay in Montenegro. Activists in Germany highlighted the plight and destruction of rainforests with a light show protest imitating a rainforest on fire at Berlin's Brandenburg Gate. A long-lost painting by 17th century Flemish master Peter Paul Rubens has been found in a Paris mansion. Auctioneer Jean-Pierre Ossenat called it a masterpiece. Prince Harry of the British royal family visited a charity set up in honour of his late mother, Princess Diana, in London. Harry earlier visited a research centre specialising in the treatment for victims with blast injuries. Local water park in China's Chengdu city drew crowds with its shaded mahjong pools where players can enjoy the game while soaking their feet in cool water under the trees. The Taitema Lake in northwest China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region turned into an oasis from a dry lake in recent years, with water replenishment efforts paying off. Thailand's Department of National Parks temporarily shut down the aggressive animal show zone at Safari World after a lion attacked a zookeeper. In response, other open zoos across the country will undergo inspections. Researchers at the University of Adelaide in Australia developed a material to degrade forever chemicals. The material is a metal sulfide powder mixed with concentrated amounts of toxic chemical. Retirees from across Australia lend a helping hand to rebuild rural communities after the disastrous flooding earlier this year. The group of volunteers have set up camps in several towns. A 38-year-old blind tattoo artist in Russia is in high demand. The artist can perceive gradations in light and can make out the contours of objects while working. Dhamtari district in Chhattisgarh promoted the Vocal for Local initiative by empowering 200 women through the Green Crackers initiative, marking a sustainable Diwali celebration. All India Institute of Medical Sciences in New Delhi became the first government medical college in India to train on Da Vinci robotic system, marking a significant milestone in robotic surgery training in India. Director Guillermo del Toro confronts the reality of frequent natural disasters by auctioning his collection of monsters and fantasy objects that are frequently the subject of his Gothic films. Hollywood actors Tom Holland, Zendaya and Jacob Batalon reunited on the set of Spider-Man Brand New Day, sparking fan excitement. The film is set to release on July 31st next year. The official trailer of action film Christie was released on Friday after a praised world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival. The film, directed by David Michaud, showcases Christie's rise and struggles inside and outside the ring. Hollywood actor Henry Cavill suffered an injury while preparing for the remake of the action fantasy movie Highlander, likely delaying production until early 2026. The original film was released in 1986 and featured Christopher Lambert and Roxanne Hart. The cast of mockumentary movie Spinal Tap reunited for their press day in their character from the movie for the release of the sequel Spinal Tap The 2, The End Continues. The film features several cameos and is out in US theatres. Scottish actor Brian Cox made his directorial debut with the film Gyan Bharatam, which premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival on Thursday. The story follows two estranged brothers reuniting after decades. Desert Warrior, the $150 million movie starring Anthony Mackie and Ben Kingsley, will finally premiere at the Zurich Film Festival on September 28th. The long-delayed film faced creative setbacks following its 2021 shoot, with director Rupert Wyatt briefly exiting the project. New York Fashion Week opened with a runaway show inspired by earthy tones and travel, featuring soft draped fabrics and relaxed silhouettes. The collection blended natural elements with urban style, emphasizing wearable neutrals for busy on-the-go lifestyles. South Indian actor Teja Asaja's film Mirai started strong in North America, earning over $367,000 in premiere shows. In India, it crossed 1 crore on the opening day, indicating a promising box office run. Dada Saheb Phalke International Film Festival Awards 2025 will celebrate a decade of Indian cinema on October 29th-30th in Mumbai. The event honors cinema legends and emerging creators, featuring performances and showcases from India's diverse film industries. Superstar Shah Rukh Khan's son Aryan Khan released the third song Tenu Ki Pata from his directorial debut series The Bads of Bollywood, featuring vocals by Diljit Dosanjh and himself. The series premieres on Netflix on September the 18th. Union Sports Minister Mansukh Mandavia attended the Playcom Business of Sports Summit 2025 in New Delhi today. He underlined Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision. To position India among the top sporting nations of the world. Bangladesh got off to a winning start in the Asia Cup as they clinched a 7-wicket victory over Hong Kong in their first match in Abu Dhabi. Chasing 144 for wins, skipper Liton Das crafted a well-placed 59 runs and put the game on a decisive 95-run stand with Tawhid Hridoy to seal the victory. Pakistan will begin their T20 Asia Cup campaign against Oman in Dubai on Friday. India's top men's doubles pair of Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty advanced to the semi-finals of the Hong Kong Open. India's Lakshya Sen beat compatriot Ayush Shetty to enter the semi-finals of the Hong Kong Open. India's star javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra will lead a 19-member contingent at the World Athletics Championships starting from September 13th in Japan. Indian women's hockey team suffered its first defeat of the Asia Cup, going down 1-4 to host China in a Super 4 match in Guangzhou. India will next play against Japan on the 12th of September in the third match of the Super 4's pool, looking for a win to secure a spot in the final. England's Football Association handed Chelsea 74 charges relating to agent regulations and third-party investment in players. The Union of European Football Associations announced that Madrid and Warsaw will host 2027 Men's and Women's Champions League finals, respectively. Aymeric Laporte rejoined Athletic Bilbao from Al Nassr on Thursday, penning a 3-year deal until the end of June 2028. Manchester United goalkeeper Andre Onana completed a loan move to Turkish side Trabzonspor. Donnarumma has begun his stint at Manchester City following his deadline day move from PSG with an eye on winning the biggest trophies. and Italy's Filippo Ganna tore through the final third of the shortened individual time trial to win stage 18 of Vuelta a España. So that's it in this edition of Express News. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.